Hi, glad you could join us. I'm Annette Sherman. This is Community. Okay, I have a very short, fascinating quiz for you. Now, okay, listen closely. What organization does the following few sentences describe? Now, we're not giving prizes for this, for the correct answer. So the prize, actually, is the place itself. So you may want to go there after you hear a little bit about it, or actually after watching this program. Okay, here are the few sentences, which is actually their mission statement. And that's all you're getting. Here it is. Our mission is to provide an oasis of inspiration and tranquility while furthering understanding and appreciation of plants, especially exquisite epiphytes. I must just say, I added the word exquisite because I love I can't say the word, but I'll get it straight with my two guests before they leave. Now, I'm pretty sure that most of you guessed I was talking about our magnificently redesigned Selby Botanical Gardens, which brings us to our program for today. Now, okay, let me introduce my guests first. Let's start with the president and CEO of our splendiferous Selby Gardens, and her name is not pronounceable. Her first name is Jennifer, and her last name looks like it's not pronounceable, but it is. Romanecki? Romanecki. I had it written down. I was going to read it, but I was reading it from the teller. Romanecki. I'll just call you Jennifer.
Perfect.
Perfect. Okay. And then we have the director of horticulture at the sensational Selby Gardens, Michael McLaughlin. Okay. Let's start with Jennifer. And you can pipe in if you want to, Michael, anytime.
Will do.
If she doesn't know an answer, we don't want to embarrass her.
You can bail me out.
All right.
Okay. Each of you, actually. I want to hear about your background. And the way you hear the background is so sensational, really. Both of them. One, well, you'll hear it. About your background, what you've done, your education, your family, and so forth. So about you.
Wonderful. So I moved here from New York 2 years ago, and I studied art history at Lafayette College in Pennsylvania.
You moved here 2 years ago?
Yes.
Okay. Because you just wanted to be here?
No, I moved here for the opportunity of a lifetime to lead Marie Selby Botanical Gardens. That's why I came here. So I was recruited, and I'd never been to the west coast of Florida before, and I was amazed with what I found. And Selby Gardens, I'd heard of Selby because it really has an international reputation, but I'd never been to the west coast and I'd never seen it before, and I was amazed by what I found. So I studied art history in college. I started out.
You received an award for.
Yes. I graduated with honors in art history and got my bachelor's there. And I started out my career in the visual arts at the Guggenheim Museum in New York. And then from there, I moved on to performing arts at the Metropolitan Opera. And then finally, I ended up in what I call living art at the New York Botanical Garden, where I spent 15 years. And it was from there that I was recruited for this position at Selby Gardens.
You look entirely too young to have done all that, particularly when you added the years.
Thank you.
But that's wonderful. There's a little secret here. Michael is also quite old, but he doesn't look it. But that's the world of horticulture does that to you. It keeps you young.
And oil of Olay.
What's that?
Oil of Olay.
There you go. The fact that you've had all that experience brought you to us, and I'm delighted and thankful that you were selected because you've done so many extraordinary things. Now, I'm serious when I say this. If you have not been to the Marie Selby Gardens lately is what, a year or so?
Sure, absolutely. And actually, even if you've been recently, we have a whole new display up. So there's
Lots of exciting things.
Yes.
We're going to talk about them. But for those of you who used to be members and let your membership expire, you really, once you go back there, you will not only renew your membership, you want to set up camp there and live there and be there and just go back every single day, which you could do if you're a member. At any rate, okay, you came here, they designated you, they couldn't. Now you have a family with you.
Yes, I do. So I'm very lucky that my husband stays home full time with our 2 young boys. So we have 2 boys.
How old are they?
They are 6 and 11, and they are having a wonderful time being Sarasotans. They're both at Southside Elementary School, and the community has really embraced us as a family, and we're really grateful.
Well, they're going to embrace someone who you could be a wretched person, but professionally what you've done is embraceable.
Well, thank you.
Well, you really have to stop thanking me because I'm not going to stop talking about Selby. I have carried on. My friends say, shut up.
No.
I said, I will shut up when you go there, and then you will take my place and rave and rave and rave because it is just so beautiful. And we'll get to you, mister, because you're probably responsible for carrying through all the plans to see that it looks like it does. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so you're happily married to a
Yes.
wonderful husband who's
Yes.
taking care of his 2 boys.
Yes, Rob.
You are loving Sarasota.
Yes.
You have less travel time than you did in New York.
Yes.
And isn't that a joy?
It's a joy. I absolutely love this community. So I ditched my New York commute for a 1.5-mile commute, and it's just wonderful. And personally, I mean, this community is amazing. All the arts and culture here, the spectacular beaches, the bay, the Gulf, I mean, the wonderful restaurants.
We had a little bit of a glitch there. I hope you didn't notice it, but we're back. And just to remind you that we're talking about the beautiful, exquisite Selby Gardens here in our community, and we're talking with the CEO, Jennifer. Say your last name.
Romanecki.
Romanecki. And it looks like it's more difficult to say that
Yes.
than that, but I'll get used to it after a year or 2 or 3
Sure.
for Romanecki. And Michael McLaughlin, and Michael is the head of horticulture. And of course, Jennifer is in charge of almost everything there. We were talking about your career, your sons, and your husband, who was at home with the boys, but that's good for all of them.
It's great.
Yeah, if you had daughters, well, even then, it would be great for all of them. Okay, let's move along. A bit about Selby Botanical Gardens, and because a lot of people may not be aware of this. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Sure. So basically, Maurice Selby Botanical Gardens is the only botanical garden in the entire world that focuses on the study of epiphytes. There's that word, which really means air plants that grow in the tree canopy instead of the soil, such as orchids, bromeliads, African violets, ferns. So we have this really focused
For years
niche.
and years,
That's
I'm
right.
going to talk to Michael about it very shortly.
That's right.
So, and what else makes Selby unusual? You made it unusual. You bring in Chagall displays. When you bring in all kinds of wonderful, you bring in Michael's on East. And people who've been here, or people who know about our community, know it's probably the best restaurant in town, best restaurant in the area, best restaurant in Florida. And put the combination of the most beautiful botanical gardens and the best restaurant, people want to have an event there,
Absolutely.
a wedding or an engagement party, birthday party, goodness knows what. I'm sure it's increased your business, not that you needed an increase.
Sure we do.
Okay, they do. All right, so you've got a lot happening
Yes.
there, and the beauty of it is unbelievable. I'm going to get to Michael now and come back to you.
Sure.
Okay, Michael, a bit about yourself, your training. You've been here with us a fair amount of time.
Right, I've been with Selby Gardens over 13 years now, but I've had the real privilege of spending my entire career working with tropical public gardens.
Is that what you wanted to be when you were a little kid?
Well, not when I was a little kid, but as I got older, yeah, I wanted to do something in an environment that was green. And at first I thought I might be interested in botany, but that's really, as we like to say, botanists know how plants grow, but horticulturists know how to grow plants. And I was interested in the horticulture, so that's what I got my degree at Cornell University in, and then I've been with public gardens since, first doing an internship in Hawaii, botanical garden there, and then spending a decade in Miami at Fairchild Tropical Botanical Garden. And
So
now
you've
I've been
had a
here.
lot of background, a lot of training, and you've been here how many years?
Over 13.
Over 13 years. What does your job entail?
Well, so I oversee all aspects of our horticulture department. I actually also oversee our facilities department and our IT department now as well. But horticulture, so that's the 15 acres of gardens that we have and the staff that take care of that. And then our greenhouses. We have 25,000 square feet of greenhouse, shade house, and we have about 20,000 specimens
is
in
that
our
all?
care. Yeah, but luckily I have a team of 10 professional horticulturists that work with me and over 100 volunteers.
Okay, totally. Jennifer, how many volunteers does we can't exist as a community without our volunteers.
No.
That's
and there
right.
are special places that people gravitate to because they're not only fun, they're the people that gravitate to it, the volunteers are interested in this particular work. Moat Marine is one, the hospital is another major user of volunteers, and Selby Gardens.
We have 800 volunteers, and we just couldn't operate without them. That accounts for about $1.4 million in labor a year that is contributed to the operations of the institution. So we're so grateful.
Let's, as a community are grateful. Damon, please put the number on the screen and the website. I'm going to encourage you several times more. I hope I get the opportunity to encourage you several times more. Call, if you let your membership not run out, call up and renew it. If you'd like to make a donation to Selby Gardens, don't stop yourself. Write out a check. They can always use funds to improve further. Membership, what does that entitle you to?
So being a member is a wonderful opportunity because you get free admission to Selby. You can
Anytime you want to come?
You can come all the time. And now that you can just it's a wonderful place to just take a stroll or see one of our exhibits. And now that we have Michael's on East that is handling our cafe and our public food, you can stroll in, have lunch, see the gardens, and come many, many times.
We're in season. You're going to have company coming down. I know I will. And we're going there.
Good.
Absolutely, because it is so beautiful. Trust me on this, if you haven't been there, you've never seen anything. Who created, Michael, those little scenic things? They're separate. And when you walk into them, you walk into another world of beauty.
Right.
Were those your people?
Absolutely. No, we do all of that design work
Congratulations.
in-house, and our team works very collaboratively to come up with the ideas and then figure out how we're going to execute it. We had wonderful partners like Hazeltine Nursery helped us with some of those, executing some of those vignettes throughout the gardens. So yeah, that's all in-house.
Yes.
Now, I don't want to have people think that I thought it was not beautiful before. It was lovely. It was very nice. It was very nice. Now it is incredibly beautiful, incredibly nice, exciting. Something you want to tell everybody about. Just thank whoever needs to be thanked for creating that beautiful, beautiful place. Michael, the work that Selby does on preserving orchids and so forth. Tell a little bit about that.
Well, we have several collections. I mean, really, Selby Gardens is a living museum. So, of course, we have the living collection, which you're very familiar with. That's all of our living plants that we keep in our greenhouses and in the gardens, and those are useful to researchers that need, say, they're doing DNA work and they need live tissue. And because our collections are so rich and so full, particularly of epiphytes, we're the place. But then we have other collections as well. So we have our herbarium collection, which is pressed plant specimens. We have over 110,000 herbarium specimens. And then we have our spirit collection. And those are plants, particularly flowers, that are preserved in spirits, in alcohol, in jars. And what that does is preserves their three-dimensional shape. And Selby Gardens has the second largest collection of that type in the world.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't know that. They go and they see the beauty, and they're refreshed, and they're encouraged, and they're delighted at what they see. And it's a visual thing. They don't realize all of the research that's going on.
Right.
And this is part of the importance of Selby Gardens.
Well, and did you know, Annette, that in our 40-year history, our botanists have described over 2,000 species new to science. And in fact, we've recently been doing field work in Belize, and we're finding new species. So, you know, we tend to think we have all of the biology of our planet figured out, and no, there's much we don't know.
I always think, when not you talk about that, but hearing you talk about that, the movie, The New Leaf, remember, did you see that?
I haven't.
You have not?
No, tell me about it.
You have?
I have not.
I'm not even going to spoil it for you.
All right.
Go and wherever you can get a movie nowadays, I don't know where you can. Have you seen the movie?
No.
Okay. It is hysterically funny, and it is all about the hysterically funny aspect of what we're talking about.
Okay.
I'm not going to give you any more
right.
of a hint.
I'll look it up.
I congratulate both of you because it obviously took not only the CEO and not only the person in charge of horticulture and all of the knowledge that each of you brought to do this, but lots of other people.
Lots.
your volunteers and the people who help. And was it you that said, Michael, that you have volunteers that come in because they love to pull weeds and
Yeah, our volunteers, I mean, we use volunteers in every aspect of our operation. Obviously, in my case, it's in a horticultural sense, but they do everything. I mean, they repot plants in the greenhouses, they pull weeds and mulch in the gardens, and they're very happy to help us with our work.
They should pay you for allowing them to come and spend all their hours in that beautiful, beautiful environment. Next season, I'm putting you on notice, viewers. I want to do a program with you and with whomever you designate, and maybe we'll let Jennifer come too.
Okay.
Oh.
Because
That'd be nice.
that's because she has a little pulchritude and intelligence. But I'd like to do it simply about orchids.
Yes.
And the various types of orchids, because I love, love, love orchids.
Well, we'll bring some of our collections here.
Okay, and we'll talk about the various types and learn, teach us about it. My late husband, used to bring me orchids all the time from Selby. He'd stop in. And then when they started to perish, and which is so long, I mean, they live so long,
Right.
then he'd take them and hang them outside. And then they revive.
Yeah. Yep.
And I never saw that until he did it. And when I saw them revive, it was just someone came to, not like a person came to life. Anyway, I'm promising you, my viewers, that we'll have that program next season. Jennifer, we were talking about Michael's on East and the things that you were instrumental in seeing happen. The Chagall.
Yes.
Yeah, talk about Chagall.
Sure. So Mike mentioned earlier that we've repositioned ourselves as a living museum. So what does that mean? What it means is we don't ever want to hear someone say, I've been to Selby Gardens, it's beautiful, as if you don't have a reason to come back. So we are creating exhibitions, events, experiences to get repeat visitation and to broaden our audience. And so Selby Gardens Payne Mansion's Museum of Botany and the Arts was founded in 1979 to showcase the ties between arts and nature. And so building on that history, we wanted to create the first in our Jean and Alfred Goldstein exhibition series to tie the arts to nature in an interdisciplinary way, and we could think of no better artist to study in this manner than Marc Chagall. And so Marc Chagall has been studied many, many times, prolific artist, much beloved, but never studied in the context of his love of flowers and never at a botanical garden. And that's what we've brought to Sarasota. And it just opened and will run through July 31st. It is a very interdisciplinary show. There's a cathedral of plants in the conservatory where we have 6 reproductions of Marc Chagall's stained glass windows featuring botanical imagery. There are garden vignettes all throughout the grounds reminiscent of Marc Chagall's French Riviera. There are quotes by the artist throughout the garden's grounds. And then you end up at the Payne Mansion, where we have on display 3 spectacular oil paintings, 1 masterwork from the Israel Museum, Jerusalem, and 2 from a private collection. We also have 4 vases that were owned by Marc Chagall that he used to fill with flowers and paint, as well as 16 archival photographs. And then when you exit the museum building, you can have a French crepe or a baguette from Michael's on East.
Yeah, but really, do you have anything for people to see? I mean, that is just incredible. And I would urge you not only to go because you're not going to just want to go once, obviously. Take the membership, and then you can go back again and again. And if you have people who are here visiting, get them one or let them make a contribution. I promise you, an experience of a lifetime. And that's quite a statement. But you've got to really do it. In other words, you've got to do the whole, what you heard Jennifer talking about, all of these things if you want to get the Chagall feeling and the whole exhibition that's far more than just one picture or one little display. But there's so much more. The beautiful settings that you've set up and you've had your people work on, each and every one of those settings are breathtaking and separate and different. I can go on and on because I couldn't. People said, "Me, shut up, Annette. That's enough."
No, keep
You've
going.
been raving about Selby Gardens. Yes, I'm not sorry. I'm glad. I want everyone to know because not just for Selby to continue with what they're doing and more, but so that friends and family can have the pleasure that I had visiting there. So. Jennifer, you're doing a beautiful job.
Thank you so much.
Keep
so
on
appreciated.
going, and I think that people in the community are aware. If they're not aware that it's basically you're up there calling the turns and whipping Michael. So
Yeah. See the marks?
you have the mark. I saw them, sweetheart.
I know.
But you let her do it because she gets, very strange. But she's gifted, and so are you, and so are probably most of the people at Selby Gardens.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have enough time to put that number on the screen. We have all those pictures. Oh, we're going to see the pictures. Put the number on the screen again now, please. It's I can't see it from here, 366. Is that what it is?
Yep.
Yes.
What is-
5731.
5731. But go to www.selby.com. .org, and you can do it any time of the day or night. Okay, we've got the 5 minutes, and we've got 5 pictures, but we may not be able to see them all. Let's see the first picture. Jennifer, what do we see?
So there you see Selby's iconic Morton Bay fig tree and the roots, and children just enjoying it, which is what we want them to do.
Okay, that's an actual picture of something.
It is.
Okay,
It's the
let's see
roots.
the next one up because we won't have
Great.
time to see all of them. Oh, what a sweetie.
So there is a wonderful child enjoying our beloved koi pond.
Oh, I
which,
love to
and,
see them
and the
doing it
kids
at a
love
young
to
age
feed the
like
koi.
that. Okay, next picture, please.
That is the art display in the Payne Mansion's Museum of Botany and the Arts. So there are
It's a
the
Chagall display.
Yes, it is.
And it's in the museum, which is at Selby.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
There's so much that you don't know about, and you should. Okay. We'll see the next to the last picture. Oh, what a beautiful setting. What a beautiful shot.
And that is one of Mike's team's fantastic vignettes to really evoke the French Riviera. So that appears to be a lavender field. It's actually salvia, which does very well in our climate. And there is a wonderful bougainvillea alongside of it.
Beautiful, beautiful picture. And last but not least,
Mike, why don't you mention the conservatory show?
Right, so we've done a really very different conservatory makeover for Chagall, and it includes several floating elements. So that's something for your viewers to look for, because in Chagall's paintings, he had a lot of figures and objects sort of floating throughout his canvas. Well, we took our cues from that and decided, epiphytes aren't rooted to the ground. Could we make them float? So.
you're going to make me cry, Michael, because it sounds so beautiful, and it sounds so much of what I'm talking about, the kind of art and skill and determination to be the best.
Right.
And
right.
I think you've achieved it. Congratulations, and as more people, I'm sure lots of people were there for your last event, the big event. I used to go to every year, but I stopped going because my husband was not well. The Orchid Bowl,
Right.
Yes.
which is magnificent. And I remember what discouraged me, this woman said, "Oh, do you like my dress?" I said, "Because everybody dresses up to the nines." And I said, "Oh, it's beautiful." She said, "I had it made for me in Paris and shipped so I would be here at this." So I'm not going here anymore. I have a dress from, I don't remember where it was from, but it wasn't Paris and it wasn't shipped in.
Don't worry, we let a lot of people wear off the rack. No problem.
But the Orchid Bowl is a beautiful event, and I'm sure it's even more beautiful than ever. Go to the beautiful Selby Gardens, call them, become a member, and help them continue. Become a volunteer. What a wonderful thing to do, that you could go there every day and not pay to get in, but
You pay with sweat.
well, but these people that do, you know, Michael, love doing it.
They do.
They did.
And they look forward to the day, and they look forward to being there.
Yeah.
And that's wonderful. And I want to tell you something to look forward to also that's going to happen on April the 24th. It's called the Community Video Archives Luncheon. We have one event a year, and we select 4 people, outstanding people. Watch out, Jennifer, you're liable to be one of these years. 4 wonderful people. What I'm going to do is, because I don't have much time, is let you find out well, we've only got a minute. These 4 wonderful people will be honored and at this luncheon, and we're sold out every year. So please call me at 365-7052, and I'll see if I can arrange tickets. And call the Selby Gardens at the number. The number is to call
366-5731. And Selby.org.
366-5731. We're out of time. It went very quickly. Thank you, Michael. Keep on keeping on.
Thank you, Annette.
Jennifer, maybe you bring your sons one day. I'd love to see them.
Oh,
Are they
I'd
tall
love
and
to.
blonde?
They actually are.
Thanks for being with us. You're wonderful. Keep
you.
on
Thank you.
making Sarasota that beautiful. See you next time. Bye-bye for now.
The time really flew. We bid you adieu from community. If you want to know why we love